Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough for Pro Division in the dreaded Dunes tournament. The video is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. And before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that bell button so you get a notification every time there is a new live stream or a new video. Also, visit golfclashtommy.com for more content for the dreaded Dunes, but also for whatever, tour you're playing in the regular Golf Clash game. Subscribe to patreon.com/golfclashtommy to get updated text guides, which truly will help your game. All links in the video description down below. You can see here on the right side, you see the elevation for all the shots that I'm taking here in this playthrough, and you will see some differences compared to what has been said before, and that is especially hole number 2, hole number 4, and hole number 9. Hole 2, 30% downhill, looks really weird, but that's because I changed elevation to fit the adjustments because I'm looking for the funnel. Hole number 4, adding 15% works better when we do have a crosswind. And hole 9, the second shot, 25%. I have been wrong with 40% before, therefore we're changing to the correct elevation adjustment. We're gonna get into that obviously while talking about it in the video. So hole number 1, and here you will see me playing with an extra mile, and you play with whatever driver you feel comfortable with, but you do need a little distance. I choose to play with a power 1 ball just because, I feel confident that I will be playing okay with it. But obviously, if you do want to have a bit more distance for the start, you play with a power 2 or you play with a power 3 ball. Adjust for a 10% extra elevation, and then you're gonna push up to max. And then take your shot. And then you're going to see this ball coming very nicely there in between the bunkers, bouncing here in a way so we do get our short iron towards the pin. And once again, use a different ball if you want to. I'm trying to use a mix of balls here in this playthrough so you can see aggressive lines, you can see some conservative lines as well. Now we do play with the thorn. I really don't enjoy to bounce on this uphill slope here, as I do feel it's a bit inconsistent. But I don't either see a better way to play it though. So let's aim for the pin. Adjust with no elevation, and we're gonna play for the 6.5 miles per hour here. And obviously the distance of your club is gonna depend on how far you're going with your drive. So don't steer yourself blind with that I'm playing this one close to max distance. You might end up sometimes a medium distance, sometimes you're gonna end up maximum distance, and sometimes even minimum distance. That's up to, once again, how you do your drive. We're coming to hole number 2. I play with the navigator here using 3 backspin, and I'm also using 2 side spin to the right here. Look at the ball guideline here. When I'm wiggling back and forth, maybe hard based on the very bright green, but I'm trying to get the ball guideline towards the pin. When I'm doing like this back and forth, I don't want the ball guideline to move, which means that is a funnel. Which means that we do have, if we hit that funnel, we do have some wider margin to get that ball in the hole. Now I adjust this one with a 20% over adjustment, but you're gonna notice that I'm going to miss right. And therefore I want you to play with 30% extra so we can get that one in the hole, or at least closer to it. So 30% extra, play with maximum distance number, and power 1 ball. Hole number 3, here I'm playing with a katana, and I'm using max topspin with the extra mile level 6 combined with as much side spin to the right possible. Max topspin is 4.5, and side spin is going to be somewhere around 6 bars. No curl whatsoever. I did a mistake on the stream to play with curl, which put me to bounce in the rough. We play without curl, relying on the side spin, kicking us in there to the right. And the reason I play with the katana is because I want side spin 3 for the approach, but I don't want to use a power 3 ball, so I risk going in between clubs as we do have a tailwind. Look here, look at this beautiful funnel. No matter how we move this ball guideline, we are going to have the ball guideline on the left edge of the cup, and it doesn't move. Even if we move more left or more right, the only thing that could hurt us here is a great shot, and a great shot to the right. And obviously that's what's gonna happen. But from this range here now, I play it medium distance only, without any elevation. Drive 10%, then the second shot with no elevation. You can see we just barely hit a great right, and that's obviously a bummer. But look, even with a great here, how close we're gonna be to the hole. And this is what we're gonna do with our sniper to maximize the opportunity, getting an albatross here from distance. I really enjoy hole number 3. Hole number 4, also a rough bump. First I'm gonna show you with a ball that it's a power 3 ball and side spin 3, which is a kingmaker. You don't really need to have a side spin 3, but I would say it's better to play with a kingmaker than a titan to reduce the wind to its maximum. And this is to be playing with a long iron. Now I'm over adjusting this shot only 10%, but I like you to play with 15% extra to match the adjustments, so we are not gonna miss left. Because now you're gonna notice that I'm gonna miss left using a 10% extra elevation, so therefore we're gonna use 15% instead the next time, and still play it max distance numbers. We're coming in with a pretty decent speed here. We would reduce a tiny bit topspin, but you know, that's still gonna be fine. If you want to play with a sniper instead, you play with a power 0 ball like the Marlin, and the Marlin fits perfectly here. You're gonna use max topspin, 4.5 bars with your sniper, and you're gonna let the ball guideline go through the hole with the side spin included. So use max top, max side with your sniper, and then you're gonna adjust minimum distance plus 15%. And you're gonna see here how close this ball is gonna be when we hit this ball perfect. So I really enjoy this approach, and I would almost say that I think this approach is slightly better than the power 3 approach. Obviously, for those of you playing with a special ball, can use a power 0 ball and reduce the wind even more. But I choose to play with a Marlin to show that it's possible to play that shot even without a special ball. Hole number 5, here I do have a drive with the big topper. I also have a drive with the extra mile, and the reason I want to show you both is that you're gonna see that there is a big difference here. A big topper, in my opinion, would be the better shot because you get more distance. Even though you have the big topper in a lower level, I would rather play with the big topper here to gain this massive topspin that you're getting, which will put you in a position where you have a much easier shot for the second shot than you would be having playing with an extra mile. But just to show the difference here, and now you can see I'm having a katana here, which is the only thing needed to get to the same type of distance as we would be with a power 3 ball. So I would rather say to save the power 3 ball here, as you know, it's not gonna make any more than like a 5 to 10 yards difference if playing with a power 3 ball here. Push up to max, we do want to be in maximum distance, regular shot, and now only having 4.5 bars with extra mile, it will not really be that super helpful for us. So if you can, play with the big topper, and obviously otherwise you play with the driver that gives you the most distance and topspin together. Second shot, we are going to play this shot without any elevation. 10% for the drive, second shot without any elevation. And now we do have a good chance. I would say this is almost a must, because we will, what can I say? We have such a nice and short iron approach that we're going to be around the cup no matter what, and in a best case scenario, obviously, we're gonna get it in the hole. And this is a drive that is absolutely possible to dial in, or like second shot that is absolutely possible to dial in based on yardage notes, which is something that I will work with going forward in this tournament. The bounce there on the fairway, and we're coming in very close, just taking the left edge. Another day we will be getting it in the hole. Hole number 6, here is also a big topper approach that I would concede as the better one. Power 3 ball is a must here on hole number 6. We adjust our target with a 10% over adjustment, and we push up to max. If you rather want to play with an extra mile or a Thor's hammer or an apocalypse, you do that. The reason I play with a big topper is to give myself more topspin and therefore gaining more distance. Even with a great shot here, we actually managed to get this ball to roll very nicely on the fairway and getting down there for a very interesting approach, I would have to say. Second shot, as you're gonna notice now, I play with the sniper level 9. And now I want you to play with as much topspin as you can. Or let's phrase it in this way. Use as much topspin that makes the ball guideline go towards the pin. That's the better way of phrasing it. Then you're gonna adjust with a maximum distance with a 20% over adjustment. And look at what I'm doing here in the end. I turn my screen around and I back up one ring. The reason I back up or like pull back one ring is because we're adjusting from a lower point to a higher point. So to compensate for that, we need to pull back one ring, otherwise we're going to gain too much distance that is going to mess up our shot. Great shot, obviously, and we just missed that one to the right. You might wonder, why do I have 0 to 20% in terms of elevation? It's because we are going to have different elevation based on how far you reach with your drive. Now, hole number 7, par 3, 10% extra. And we're gonna play with slightly more than 5 bars of backspin. So 5 and a click, and then we're going to use 5 and a click side spin as well. Try to replicate the ball guideline. That's one tip I have for you. Red ring by the rough line, and then we're going to adjust medium distance with a 10% over adjustment, which is 5.1 rings. No curl, and you're gonna see here the way that we are compensating with the ball guideline is gonna get this ball to its home. Boom. So hole in one on hole number 7, definitely something that we will bring with us. Hole number 8, here you will see me playing with a berserker ball and a big topper. This because I want to gain as much distance as possible once again, but I will once again be very, very clear that you don't have to play with a big topper. But I would, if so, consider playing with an extra mile or a Thor's hammer with a power 3 ball. As minimum a power 2 ball. Because we do want to gain as much distance possible, and therefore we do want to have the distance of our balls. We don't have to overpower. Having to overpower when we do have the bunker there to the left and we have the rough to the right is gonna be a problem. This is also a shot that we can dial this one in based on yardage notes, which is nice because we have a straight shot, then we have a straight shot for the next time as well. But I wanted to bundle in a shot with a berserker here, that you can see how much difference in terms of speed that we're getting here. Even with a great shot, we gain almost 400 yards. And this will, instead of making us having a long iron in maximum distance, it gives us a short iron in around medium distance-ish, something like that. And you can see, look at the ball guideline there, how it wobbles back and forth, like if we're trying to just go straight at it. So therefore we need to use a little side spin, and we play slightly to the right of that hump instead. And the reason we're using the right side of the fairway here to try, not right side of the fairway, but that we're using side spin that is to the left instead of to the right, as we have been doing in other divisions, that is because the wind is right to left, and it's easier to play with the wind than against the wind. No elevation for this shot, 10% for the drive, nothing for the second shot. We take the edge and getting it in for a nice little eagle. Last but not least in this playthrough, we're gonna play on hole number 9, max topspin, which is 4.5, and then we're going to go with as much side spin to the right possible. This is going to be a tough drive, but we will have to play up there to the right to give us a chance for the albatross. But I would say that I think we're going to see some people mess up this shot big time, and that is because it's tough. Adjust with no elevation on this one. No elevation at all. Then you're gonna go and push up your target up to max, and then you're gonna go with around 50 to 75% of overpower. You know, we play with a massive grade to the right and just being lucky to get that ball to bounce not in the rough directly. And then we get the second bounce in the rough to roll out, which gonna leave ourselves up for a rough bump here from distance. This shot, I've been playing this one 40%, and this is what I do in this example as well. But I would say to you, play 25% and you will be more accurate. And that is because 40%, look how far we're coming to the left here, and also going pretty short, which obviously it's not super helpful for our try to get this one in the hole for an albatross. So change the elevation in your notebook to 25% instead of 40%, and all the elevation adjustment will obviously be slightly changed when it comes to the website. The ball rolls there down the rough, and obviously we are straight at the pin, but we bounce very, very close to the bunker there. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the playthrough for Pro Division. I'm very happy with it, but because I know that these adjustments will help you big time. There's some rough bump, there's some aggressive play, there's some conservative play, trying to use different type of balls to kind of bundle a thing all together. If you do have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. If you do want to have these shots and also, you know, me dialing thing for you in terms of updated text guys, you subscribe to Patreon, link in the video description down below. Video sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. If you like it, hit thumbs up. Thank you so much and good luck in the tournament.